way that they make film noir look dramatic is by limiting the amount of light in a scene through maybe shining light through objects. You can do this with an actual object in the screen like this right here, or you could do it off screen and have what, if you looked at the video before, we have the cookie. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to try to create this lighting here. And what we're going to notice is there's two lights going on here. There's one from the front and one from the back. So there's a backlight and a front light. All right, key light and backlight here. So this is our character, Victor's blind setup. If I go here, you're going to see this is where how it looks right here. The world itself looks kind of like this. It's just a simple setup. I have my camera here looking at him as he's looking out. I don't worry about his arms or his legs because all I care about is him looking through this window right here. But this is too bright, so we're going to go in here and we're going to bring it down to be like really, really dark. I want a little bit of light in here, but not too much. So we're going to bring that down. And now the way we're going to do this is we're going to add a point light in. Okay. And you're going to see the point light, and the point light is going to be used for the back rim light here. And you can see, there we go, it's nice. And I wanted to just barely illuminate. I don't want to illuminate, so I'm going to see what 5 does. There we go. Illuminates, it gives a little bit of volume to the background here, but it gives a little bit of backlight. I might even move it a little closer and go down to 3. Yeah, so that gives me a little bit of volume. Right here, let's go to 2. There, gives me a little bit of volume here. Just seeing what I wanted a little bit right here. There's some rim light here. Pull forward just a bit. There we go. Nice rim light, a bit of volume on the background. That looks good to me. All right. The next thing I'm going to do this time, I'm going to do a spotlight. I'm going to move it here, rotate it so that it goes through this window. Let's scale this a little bit. Something like that. Let's bring up the power. Let's go 50. Yeah, that's nice. All right. And that highlights the light a little, the windowsill a little bit. And we're getting some nice lighting here. Okay. But we're going for this look right here. So what we need to do is we need to create some blinds. So I'm going to Shift A, create a plane, scale it a bit. Let's do scale X, X, scale it all a little bit more, scale X some more, something like that. And then we want to rotate X 90. Alright, so I rotated it so it moves like this. And I'm going to start putting this in front of his face. Scale it down a lot more. Scale X. Not bad. Maybe a little lower. And now I'm going to use an array modifier. And I want to scale it. I want to scale up. Maybe 2. And then I want lots of these. No, that's too many. Alright, so that's like blinds right here. And you can see here, it's kind of creating this nice shadow on here. And we can move things up and down. I really don't want to see his face, like smiling, but I do want to see his eyes. So something like that. So now I have this nice, beautiful, like cookied light going through here, and I have a nice rim light going on. It's looking good to me. And that's fine. This works. We could render this out as an image using Eevee. And I like this. This is looking good. All right. We might want to make it a little more dramatic. So now we're going to change the color. I want this to be like a red light, as if maybe some siren is on the outside. But then if I'm going to do that, I want to change my backlight here to something that's kind of blue. And so now we have this nice little contrast between the red and the blue. We can render this out. And here we have more of a neo-noir look. So if we go here, we kind of have that more neo-noir look going on. Where they have like colorful images inside of there. Okay. What we're going to do next is we're going to learn how we might want to composite this and make it look like a black and white image using Blender itself. We're going to call this Blinds Eevee. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tweak this a little bit. If we look here, we have a black and white image. So this is the neo-noir version of things. But let's go back to the classic noir, film noir version. And we're going to do that by using the compositing right here. And compositing is a way to tweak an image, kind of like Photoshop. Photoshop is a compositing package, and Photoshop can change the colors, it can add elements together. We're just going to do some very, very basic photo manipulation using the compositor in Blender itself. The first thing you might want to do, go to Preferences and go to Add-ons and type in Node. And what you want to turn on is Node Wrangler. It just makes things a little bit easier. Okay. The next thing we want to do is from Layout, we want to go to Compositing, and we want to say Use Nodes. Then we're going to add, and we're going to add a composite. All right, just type it in, composite node right here. And we're going to add a render layer node. So the composite node is the final image, and this is what we're inputting in. So you're going to see there's a line here from image to image. And so if we go here, we're going to see the results of our composite. Now, what do we want to do? We want to make it black and white. Let's go here. We want to make it black and white. So that's called saturation. So I'm going to go to Add, and I'm going to go Saturation, Hue Saturation Value, and I'm going to pull that. And if you have Node Wrangler on, it should automatically sneak in there. If not, you can drag and drop it one at a time. So I have here, nothing has happened, but I'm going to go to saturation and I'm going to go from 1 to 0. And that has turned this into a black and white image. But I'm feeling this is a little too gray. I want it to have some contrast too. So I'm going to go add. I can also press Shift A, and I'm going to go contrast, bright contrast, and I could just do this manually like this, or I could just drag and drop it into the middle of those two. And a contrast, so here it is. I'm going to do contrast of 1. And now you're going to see the blacks are a little blacker. The lights, let's see what 2 looks like. There we go. That's looking pretty film noir. It makes the world a little bit darker. All right, and so this is using compositing to manipulate the image itself. And then I can go File, Save As, and Blinds EV, black and